Hello, this is X here, welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and today we're going to be starting a new series of videos talking about why these cards are limited. In case you don't know what that means, cards which you can only use one of in a tournament duel. So today we are starting off with a bunch of monster cards, so here we go. Artifact Moral Attack we start off with, probably just butchered that name completely. So in case you don't know what this does, you can set artifact cards, same as this one, as if it was a spell card to the field. During your opponent's turn, if this set card is destroyed, it could graveyard, you can special summon it, and if it was special summoned during your opponent's turn, you destroy one card on the feet, one face-up card that your opponent controls. So the reason I believe this is limited, I say if you had loads of these, you would be able to combo the absolute living hell out of this to wipe your opponent's field if you had 3 of these. Simply that for that reason is why I believe it is limited to 1. So you can only do it essentially once, unless you get it back, of course, using something like. So I guess we can go over to your hand. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. Now this card is absolutely overpowered. So it cannot be normal summoned or set, must be summoned from your hand by managing one light and dark monster from your graveyard. Pretty easy to get out in most decks. Once per turn you can activate one of these effects, which is amazing. So I've got one card on the field, banish that target face up. This card cannot attack however if you use that effect. Still amazing because you're banishing one of your opponent's cards. And then if this card destroys an opponent's monster after battle calculation, it can make a second attack in a row. Which is ridiculous. If you had more than one of these in your deck and you had, say, 3 of these on the field, you would win the duel hands down, near enough. Because you could just banish 3 cards on your opponent's side of the field, as long as they're face up, of course, and basically annihilate them. So that's why this is limited to 1. Sir, Malabrance of the Burning Abyss. Now, if you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss, this monster does get destroyed. You can use one of the effects of Seer per turn and only once per turn. This is where I believe this is why it is limited. You control no spell or trap cards, special to summon this card from the hand. That is personally, that effect there is why I believe it is reduced to 1, because if you've got 3 of these, you can just summon more. If you control no spell cards or trap cards. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Burning Abyss monster in your graveyard, except this one and special summon it. It's just ridiculous. So with one turn, if you special summon all these and then the next turn it's destroyed, you get 3 more. That's why this card's limited to 1, because it is OP. Dandelion. Now, in case you don't know what this card does, if this card is sent to the graveyard in any way, shape or form, special summon with 2 fluff tokens in defense position. These tokens cannot be tributed for tribute summon during the turn they are summoned. So if you use this, and if you summon more than 1 of these, you could discard 2 of them to get 4 of these on the field. If your opponent only destroys 1, the next turn you could summon them, you could sacrifice them for an Egyptian god, if you wanted to. Personally, that's why I believe this is banned. If you've only got 1 of these, once it's sent to go over, you can summon only 2 tokens, and you can't absolutely spam your board with tokens. Dark Arm Dragon. So this cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from the hand by having exactly 3 dark monsters in your graveyard, cannot be special summoned by any other way. You can banish 1 dark monster from your graveyard, then target 1 card on the field and destroy that target. That is why this card is limited, because if you've got 3 cards in your graveyard that are dark, special summon 3 of these in one go, or 2 even if it was semi-limited, and then banish destroy 3 cards on your opponent's side of the field. Ridiculous. Deep Sea Diva. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 level 3 or lower Sea Serpent type monster from your deck. Does this card need explaining? You get a 3+1 from your deck when this card is summoned. That is the reason why this card is limited. Ether the Heavenly Monarch. In case you don't know what this card does, you can tribute summon this card by tributing 1 tribute summon monster. That's a tongue twister, that one. So essentially anything that's been tribute summoned, you can just use that to summon this. If this card is tribute summoned, you can send 2 Monarch spell trap cards with different names from your hand and or deck to the graveyard. And if you do a special summon 1 monster with 2,400 or more attack and 1,000 defense from your deck, return it to your hand during the end phase. Still ridiculous because you get a 3+1 for that turn, and it goes back to your hand, so you're not losing anything. During your opponent's main phase, if this card is in your hand, banish 1 Monarch spell or trap card from your graveyard. Immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card. Ridiculous. So this card not only allows you to get cards onto the field, and also it allows very easy summon for itself, which is why this card is limited. Because if you had 3 of these in your deck, oh my god. Exodia the Forbidden One. This is all 5 pieces of Exodia. If this card wasn't limited to 1, you could just put 3 of all these cards in your deck and have loads of draw power cards and probably win every single time first turn. hence why there's only one allowed of each piece in the deck, otherwise there'd be no point playing against anybody who is playing Exodia. Genix Ali Birdman. If this card is in your hand, you can return one face-up monster you control to the hand, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also against 500 attack if the returned monster was winged on the field. So personally I believe this is limited to one, simply for its ability to get itself out very easily, and also the fact that it can power itself up by 500 life points as well. And you say it's just ready to get off field, and also it costs a special summon, so if you've already got one on the field you can use this and get it onto the field and pull out some big synchro monsters. Graph, Malevolence of the Burning Abyss. Now this effect is very similar to the other Burning Beast that was on this one, Seer, but it's slightly different as we'll see. If you control a monster that is not Burning Abyss monster, destroy this card. You can only use one of these effects of Graph per turn and only once. So this same effect is the one if you have no spell track cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. Again, really powerful, especially if you had 3 of these. If this card is sent to the graveyard, this is the reason why it's limited, you can special summon one a Burning Abyss monster from your deck, except this card. So if this card goes to the graveyard, you get a 3+1 onto the field. So imagine having 3 of these. Shenanigans galore. Infernity Archfiend. So when you draw this card into your hand from your deck, if you have no cards in your hand, reveal it and special summon this card. When this card is special summoned, you can add one Infernity card from the deck to your hand. You must have no cards in your hand to activate and resolve this effect. So personally, the reason that was limited, I believe this was limited. Very easy to get onto the field. All you got to do is nothing in your hand and you can get it onto the field. And every time you special summon one of these, you get a free Infernity from your hand, from your deck to your hand. So if you had 3 of these, and this is the only card in your deck, you could get one of these, add another one to your hand, and use the effect again. So yeah, this is why it's limited to 1. Insecta Dragonfly. So once per turn you can equip one Insecta monster from your hand or graveyard to this card. If an equipped card is sent from your graveyard to your graveyard while equipped to this card, except during your battle step, special summon one Insecta monster from your deck, except this card. While this card is equipped to a monster, the monster level is increased by 3. So again, it can power up another monster. Special summon itself pretty easy onto the field using its own effect. And if it's crit anything, say, increases its level and having loads of shenanigans with synchros and XZ monsters. Cliphort Scout, I hope I said that right. Now this one has no normal effect, but does have a pendulum effect. You cannot special summon monsters except Quill monsters. This effect cannot be negated. Once per turn you can put entry to life and add one Quill card from your deck to your hand. That is the main reason, as well as it having a pendulum scale of 9, which is ridiculously high. And essentially every turn by paying 800 life points you get a 3+1. Simply, that's why this card is limited. Pendulum scale of 9 and a 3+1 every turn for 800 life points. Okay, so that's it for this video. So if you enjoyed, don't forget to punch the like button, leave a comment down below, of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also most, follow me on Twitter and link down below as always. So last video to say, thank you so much for watching. I've been next Dark Killer, so see you in the next Yu-Gi-Oh video.